We're back for the Halloween special.
Oh boy.
Right. So, you all find yourselves on a small transport ship that is approaching the planet Etter. Selena is there giving you the mission briefing. Alright, everyone, you're going to have a lot of fun on this planet. This is a quarantine world. But we've decided to temporarily restrict quarantine measures. So, who would like to guess why this is a quarantine world?
Why is this a quarantine world, Selena?
Well, that's not a guess there, Watchmaker.
It's being allowed to lie fallow for ecological reasons.
Well, okay, Gar, I'm going to give you half credit. So, I'll give you the quick backstory to understand what's going on. This world is mostly empty. It was colonized by technically it was found by a rogue trader, Tor Valen, who had set it up as his retirement planet, set up a manor, lived there with his family. Eventually, he passed away, and during the reading of his will, something bad happened. We're not entirely sure, but all of his heirs died or disappeared. Anyone who made it off-world died rather suddenly and somewhat mysteriously, months at most later. So nobody on that world made it out after a year. Since then, this planet has been somewhat weakened between real space and the warp.
Oh, good.
We think with the warp storms around that period, the warp might have been affected more adversely now that they've dissipated somewhat. The actual warp nonsense of that world has gone down as well. That being said, do expect to see some measure of specters.
Oh,
Okay, the whole planet's a thinny.
Yeah.
planet's haunted.
If anybody's dark towered.
So, just a few things to be in mind. Specters, if you don't, they don't bother them, they won't bother you. Here's a few things that will bother them: shedding blood, open flame. She just looks at Tigo and Gar.
Going here.
So,
Can I use vacation time?
yeah, you're approved a year from now. But there's been a certain ecclesiarchy group that would like to go down and perform a seance. And we want to know what happened here. So we are temporarily lifting quarantine restrictions on this world. As far as they're concerned, you are members of the Inquisition, but tapped as research specialists. Just go down, observe the seance, see if you can dig up some records, find out what happened. You should be meeting the rest of the Ecclesiarch group once you reach the surface, and we will be in orbit to provide any assistance if needed.
Okay.
Don't contact me if you don't have to. She just stares at you.
Do we know what the contents of the will were?
Not sure. Will itself was somewhere on the manor grounds.
What about scans from orbit? What do these phantoms do? What are they like?
Oh, they look like regular people, just a bit translucent. Have a tendency to rip you apart if you bother them. Standard spectral behavior.
Can we get some consecrated equipment?
Yeah, she actually hands you some religious iconography.
We're playing Phasmophobia, aren't we, Ian?
Actually, funny enough, while I was watching some Phasmophobia stuff, I went more for maybe gothic horror setting, among a few other things. She sends you some consecrated imperial cult things, like the double-headed Aquila, as well as other stuff, as well as salt. This will give you a little bit of protection, but here's the thing: just don't bug the specters.
Okay, sounds simple enough. We won't bug the specters. No blood, no open flames. Lots of salt. Got it.
So just remember,
This
here are
sounds
your
surely safe
objectives.
and fun.
Observe the seance, see what happens, try and find out what happened here. Okay, well, good luck, everyone. And you just, you updated your wills, right? Well, whatever.
I have no possessions.
All of your stuff belongs to the Imperial Inquisition anyway, so. Ship lands. Like, you just feel it, like, touch down. Good luck, everyone. I'll have some candy when you get back.
Andy?
You like caramel apples, Gar?
Maybe.
Well, how about them apples?
Gar's not familiar with caramel or apples, but he'll try one.
You've had an apple. Just
That's
that,
right, I
remember
have
that
had an
Roddy
apple.
one you gave to the mutant?
That's true.
Behold my treasure. I shall bestow it upon you.
So the ship lands, the back door opens up, the pilot. Smooth touchdown. Hopefully you'll be alright. Just radio in when you're ready for us to pick you back up.
Yeah. We will. We should probably stay in the ship.
We're ready to go.
Or, like, in orbit.
We're ready to get picked up.
Yeah. Mom, pick me up. I'm scared.
Place sucks. Let's just, like, say we did the job and everything was fine.
Selena kind of half escorts, half strong arms you out of the ship onto the planet. Good luck, everyone.
You know how
like
those
like
kids
a cat or like a Shiba Inu where it's got its collar but it's dug in its heels and it's just like.
we're like attached to her. Like, no, we're not going, Mom.
Fuck Halloween specials and fuck you.
And just pushes you off onto the planet. Door shuts, and the ship just rather quickly takes off and up into the atmosphere. You are on a landing pad set up just outside of the walls of the manor. And the planet itself is very thickly covered in forest. It is closing in on nighttime. You can start to see the stars appear. And yeah, these trees are closely placed together, grown very tight together, and are standing about 100 to 200 meters high.
Interesting.
Makes
It's
it
on fire.
No.
So do we have a way of detecting if we're near what are they, specters?
no. After just a few minutes, another ship starts to land. Lands right on the pad. As you see it, you all move away. I would assume you're not standing there to get crushed by this thing, are you?
I mean, to be fair, it's the quickest way out of this mission.
At which point the doors open up and let's see, 6 people walk out. Members of the ecclesiarchy as well as a few just support staff. First person you see, an older man. His hair is going thin and it's gray. He's got a little bit of wrinkles, but you can tell he's probably received some measure of rejuve treatment to keep him younger looking. A woman comes out who is somewhat younger, looks to be maybe a priest in training, but is providing support for him. See, an older man, hair is dark, starting to go gray, but is still looking to be in good shape, comes out. Followed by an older feller who has lost all of his hair and is looking to, like, he probably needs some rejuve treatments. A young guy who looks to be also in training, and followed by another young woman who also looks to be training, providing support. They all look either like they look to be all, except for the first person who came out, they're a bit younger than that first person, and they appear to be either his apprentices or just his support staff from as far as you can tell.
Alright. Let's chat with them, perhaps.
Yes.
I will stride up to the leader and say, "Greetings. We are your inquisitorial support and monitoring team.
Ah,
We're here to make sure that your spiritual purity is maintained through these proceedings.
Of course, of course. Thank you so much. He shakes your hand. I'm Ludger Lavin. I am in charge of the seance that we will be performing. This is the rest of my team, just providing spiritual support as well as the additional knowledge we need. He points to the first woman who came out. This is Gazelle Geheim. She is, let's see, next to her we have the man with the dark hair that's starting to go gray. That's Manfred Wolfenbach. The older guy with the who's bald, that is Vladimir Volstein. The younger guy is that's Conrad Kane, and finally the last woman, that is Isabel Lickberg. They shall be assisting us tonight. I hope.
About this seance you're doing.
Yes, yes.
Who are you trying to seance with, and why? And how is this not rank heresy?
Oh well, seances, the auto seances that are performed do need certain approvals, but the Inquisition has said that this seance has been approved. We've all met the measure of spiritual purity we need to. The actual seance is to contact the rogue trader, Tor Valen, who we hope to be able to discover what's going on here. We're part of an ecclesiastical group that is meant to just commune with spirits who are lingering around and hopefully put them to rest.
Fascinating, if highly suspect.
It's...
Before the seance, we were thinking of doing some research.
Well, we'll have
Perhaps trying to find the will that perhaps contained this curse, if you will.
Oh, yes. Well, we certainly will be looking around. I myself believe that the will contained the transfer of the warrant of trade. That actually makes a rogue trader and sets up rogue trader dynasties. But there will be time enough for that. We're actually hoping to get the seance done sooner rather than later. Just, we're going to wait for it to get a little darker. And plus, I would like to give you a tour of the site. We were able to recover some blueprints of this facility that will hopefully allow us to get a better idea of what we need to do. Please, here, I'll give you a quick tour if you'd like to follow behind me. So he leads you to the front gate. The building itself, the walls are made from your standard 40K material, so they have taken a while to actually decay. So we believe that this occurred some 80 years ago, that the actual event that caused this has occurred. Since then, it's been abandoned and under quarantine. And he leads you through the gates of the manor that are up. They squeal as they open up, just like a long, rusted squeak. Vines have covered the walls. You enter in through the courtyard, so like past a old fountain that still has some kind of grimy water in it. Vladimir Volkstein just kind of like, he takes his finger and he like rubs it along the edge of the fountain and looks at it. It's like, ugh, grimy. Let's see, Ludger leads you inside. It's like, the rogue trader, Captain Tor Valen, he was an interesting fellow. He was known to collect a number of interesting artifacts that were just collected in his various trades and his long career. He was apparently granted a warrant of trade for his actions in the Imperial Navy and set loose to basically secure the sector following a number of various issues related to the warp storm. So he's collected some interesting devices, and he pulls out a data slate, and you swipe through and you see things like thumb screws, like racks that are meant for like stretching people out, like fire pits that people would be hung over. He was a somewhat interesting fellow. His career, though successful, as far as rogue traders go, he made a fortune, was fraught with tragedy, and he had gained the rumor of being cursed. So we'll, but rumor aside, we'll hopefully be able to get a idea of what's going on exactly. So he points to the various wings, like, all right, so we have over there so like you enter into the main lobby, and there's like a grand staircase leading up, like heading up there into the bedrooms. We also have the various wings of the building, like the dining room, where we will hopefully be performing. We plan to set up a seance in the dining room. We also can head. There's a library. Over in the other wing, as well as the greenhouse. Down below, he has a wine cellar in his collections room. Somewhere in the site is his office. We believe it might be up in the attic, but we'll be checking that later.
I wouldn't mind doing some fact-finding in the library, maybe see if we can find some records on this place, but that said, I need to use the restroom very badly. Please excuse me.
At which point, Watchmaker makes his way to
Just
the...
runs off to poop.
Well, yes. Well, we can make our way to the dining room and get set up, or if you would like. We have about an hour before night truly falls. Let's see here. So I'm sending my team to set up the seance. But yes, if you would like to look around, just be aware this site has seen a few teams come in to do surveying. But they really haven't found anything. But that's why we're doing the seance, because it's what hasn't been tried.
Yeah, I'm sure this will go great.
Well, yes, I am aware that seances do have... I wouldn't expect anything truly dangerous to occur, but they do have a tendency to cause some measure of discomfort.
Narrator, there was danger.
So I'm just... do you have anything we would like to do before we actually... Well, anything else besides your associate there, before we get started? Or would you like to assist us with actually setting up the seance?
Gar will assist them in setting up the seance.
I mean, the library is what? Inquiry tests?
Inquiry, I think, would be more for people.
Okay. But it's not really logic, though. You kind of just...
Maybe I can do some lore rolls to
Awareness.
see if I know how best to set things up to protect us from
Well,
psychic interference and such.
yeah,
Like salt piles and whatnot.
yeah, you could do things like that. As for the actual... Well, scrutiny would be perception, so yeah, I could say you could probably do, like, a scrutiny roll. You could do, like, probably, like, 4 of them, like, 15 minutes each to just, like, run through the, like, the library. And then, yeah, Gar, what lore rolls do you have?
I've got Common, Adeptus Ministorum, and Imperial Creed.
Yeah,
Forbidden Heresy.
so you could do, like, the Adeptus, or, no, I would say you could probably do, Imperial Creed to just see if there's any, like, basically, like, any, like, rituals you could do to, like, purify the area using your actual religious iconography or the salt.
Let's give it a spin, see if this macro works. It does, but I fail.
Yeah. Alright. Gar is familiar with a few different rituals he could utilize, but he just doesn't know what he can do with, like, the various salt and, like, religious artifacts he was given beyond just keeping them on him and using them as is needed. The other thing I forgot to do, which is a little annoying, is I forgot to do one.
I am back.
Hello, back.
Welcome back.
But yeah, if you guys would like to, you can just you can do you can do 4 inquiry rolls to... It's an extended test of inquiry to just look through the library and see if you can find any information.
All of us?
Anybody
Yeah.
who's looking.
Let me
4 of
find
them.
Yep.
I'll look around too. Might accidentally pass a roll.
Yay!
All right, so let's see here.
We got 1 pass.
All right, so let's see here. We'll start with Eve.
Hold up, I gotta do mine. Inquiry.
Yeah, so
What
it's
is it?
going to be successes versus failures. Eve, unfortunately, looks through the library, but it's all just like... Yeah, let's see here.
Ow.
4.
Ow.
I have no idea how bad I did.
Let's see. Actually, hold on. I got to look through all these.
1 more. I failed every single one. Jesus. We are not very scholastic.
What was mine? I think I passed once, maybe.
Let's take a look here. Tigo. All right, yeah. Well, Tigo actually did do a decent amount.
Oh, I did. I passed every one. Wow.
Yeah. Tigo and I think Gar were able to get enough inquiry rolls to succeed. Okay, so Tigo was able to find information concerning the family that the Torvalen had a couple. He had 4 sons, and he was able to retire and raise his family on this world, and was hoping to set up a rogue trader dynasty. Most of his sons were not really that. From what you could tell, they were like had some kind of like nice language, but you're very easily able to see that it was basically they were party animals. They weren't really excited about family business, with the exception of his youngest son, who was the one who was probably the most interested. The books describe him as being more business-minded. The rest of his sons are considered to be, expert duelists who had difficulty with the actual business side, or were more interested in setting up business meetings utilizing alcohol and rich food. Gar's able to get a little bit of a biography on Torvalen, that he was a Imperial Navy man until he was able to secure a basically he was able to convince the sector governor to provide him the actual ability to become a rogue trader and go out into the sector to reclaim worlds that had either been lost due to the warp storm, and had been warned that it was in fact pretty dangerous due to the warp storms, but if you were able to actually brave those and succeed, then you would be in good shape to make a good fortune off of the deal. But you spend about an hour going through these various books. Eve and Watchmaker are actually able to find a lot of books that had been collected about the history of the Imperium. These are actually very nice books. Get their first edition of several somewhat popular, famous authors in the area who give a very good idea of the past 10,000 years. But for what they are exploring, it just doesn't give them the information they're looking for. So after about an hour, the darkness starts to fall over the building. The ecclesiarchy team goes around and they start setting up glow globes just to provide some light for the area.
Now some time has gone by. Can I try another lore roll?
Yeah, go ahead.
Work dice. Fuck you, dice.
Aw.
I'm spending a fate point on this.
Okay.
I will regret this later.
I could maybe do Scholastic Lore Imperial Guard to try to figure out more about the guys. Well, no, Imperial Guard is an Imperial Navy. They wouldn't be in the same category.
Yeah, they're purposely separated.
Yeah. Never mind me.
Unfortunately, Gar just isn't able to Gar isn't really familiar with seances and the actual seance setup.
Yeah.
He's trying to do what the various team is doing, but they're getting
stuff. Gar's gonna do some guesswork. Really, he's gonna take some of the salt, and he's gonna put in the area that they're setting up. He's gonna put salt at 5 points around the circle.
Oh, okay. But yeah, so Gar's going around, he's setting up the salt. The other members of the ecclesiarchy team watch him every once in a while, but they don't mention anything in one way or another. They just go back to the the table. It's a long dining table. They've actually set up a dinner on it. They've set up enough spaces for everyone, plus an additional. They've set up a plate at the head of the table,
For a hungry ghost to sit at.
and with the most ornate chair that looks like it would have belonged to the head of the household.
That tracks.
And so they've set up wine. They've set up various kinds of like bird meat, some sort of roast, vegetables, the salad, like just like a very nice dinner that they've had to bring it with them and set up. Like this dinner will be used to attract the spirit of Tor Valen. They also set up it looks to a 21st century viewer as a Ouija board that has a lot of wires and electronics leading into it.
You fool, this is a Waluigi board.
All right, and they also they put a bunch of candles and they take out matches and like, all right, ready everyone? A small flame will rile up the spirits, but that's what we're hoping for.
When you say rile up,
What about a large flame?
No large flames, please, sir.
Just wanted to verify.
We intend to increase the spectral activity of this area more by using small flames to bring them closer. And they take a match and they hold a breath and they light it up and they light the candles. As they light each individual candle, you occasionally see in the various, like, there's couples of mirrors throughout this room. You do see a few like translucent people show up in the mirrors. But they are very quickly, after just a moment or so, just disappear.
Interesting. I'll point that out to them in case they didn't see it.
Good. That's what we want to see. We want to see some increased spectral activity to have the seance go a little easier to summon the spirit of Tor Valen. So they turn off all the lights in the room with the exception of just the candles. Like, sit. If everyone will please take their seat and just hold hands. And we'll begin the seance.
Whose hand is that? Depends. Whose ass is that?
So they, let's see here. They set. Here we go. All right. So during so everyone sits down for the seance, and Ludger just starts to chant, "We summon the spirit of Tor Valen," and a kind of wind, like, just breezes through the room, even though the doors are shut. Tor Valen, can you hear us? Rogue Trader Tor Valen. And in the room, the temperature starts to decrease.
See, in Phasmophobia, when I start doing this, that's when the ghost murders me and drags me to hell, and they take a picture of my body and laugh at me.
And they get $10.
They do. They get $10.
Ghost gets $10?
No,
No.
the ghost hunting team.
Oh. What the hell are you gonna do with $10?
Ludger chants a bit. You feel like the physical sensations start to change. He chants for another 10, 15 minutes, but nothing really is happening. And he's starting to, like... He eventually opens his eyes like, well, unfortunately, it seems... At which point, the fires from the candles just turn a spectral green, raise up, and in, like, the seat that is empty is a spectral green spirit of an older-looking Navy man. And he is this odd, bizarre, like, combination. He's, like, you can see his, like, flesh as if he's, like, normal, but also, like, occasionally you see, like, his skull through his skin. He points his finger at Ludger, and he's just like, death. Death is coming for all of you. The mark of death.
But why? Says Gar.
I'd rather it didn't.
The mark of the traitor must be found.
Who is the traitor?
What does this mark look like?
The mark of the traitor. And then like the spectral green flame like dissipates and dissolves, and all the candles just go out, and you are just in darkness, complete and total darkness.
Well, I think that went pretty well.
Damn
Yeah,
it!
we're
I
still-
knew we were getting cursed.
At least we're still alive for now.
Now, did he say traitor or traitor? And I'm asking that in character.
Who are you asking?
Just aloud.
In general.
Everyone looks at each other.
Oh, you know, this is like pitch black. Like you don't, like you could feel like sitting in the seat, and you can like feel like the hands you're holding. Actually,
Then I'll just kind of ask it to the room.
So I guess the setup, well, sans Chewy, who is probably just like sitting to the side somewhere. He's like
Not
under.
holding hands.
He's spooked.
He's like under the seat. Like he's under.
Wine.
But I figure like it is Tigo holding Eve's hand, who is holding Watchmaker's hand, who is holding Gar's hand, and then Tigo and Gar would be holding the hands of some of the other people. Tigo, Gar, you realize like you're holding the hand of like your teammate, but the other person like isn't there. At which point the lights, like the candles like flicker back on, the glow globes turn on by themselves, and it is you four alone. The rest of the Ecclesiarchy team is gone.
Oh, hell. Awareness check to look around for disturbances.
Yeah, go ahead, make an awareness check.
God damn it, I have movie competence.
Hang on. Time for
Right.
weird.
All right. So, a few things you've
Well,
noticed. This is actually a pretty easy test, so this all would have been done at like a plus
There we go.
plus 10, plus 20. So you would have all passed. Well, except for Gar. Except for Gar. The food in front of you has all spoiled completely. The meat looks like it has been rotting for weeks. There's a thin layer of frost across like most of the furniture in the room, and the pictures and statues in this room are weeping blood.
Ah.
Gar looks at the statue and goes, "That wasn't doing that when we got here."
I'm gonna take out a low stick and just, I could use a smoke right now. It's already been a mission and it just started.
Oh, actually, you take out a glow stick and you smoke it.
That's right, flame. He realizes as he's going to light it that they were warned against flame, and he just slowly puts away his little Imperial Guard lighter. I'll just So, are there any signs of the people who are no longer there?
The seats are empty. They're like tucked into the table. It looks like somebody had left and just pushed the seat back in, but no sign of like a struggle or anything.
All right.
We're sure these guys were really here to begin with, right? Yeah, I guess we saw them get out of the spaceship and everything.
I mean, it could have been a ghost ship.
Yeah, everything could be spooky. Guys, I'm super spooked right now. Roy, I guess.
Does it look like they hurriedly ran off or anything like that? Do I have to do a survival roll for that?
We could try a survival roll if you'd like to see if you can track them.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find any kind of tracks. I hit the button. Now we wait.
Yeah, same.
6 to
Aw.
7 business days.
Roll 20. Why are you being a goose?
Doing so well moments ago.
Yeah,
We were doing so well until everyone died.
the hamsters controlling their servers are on break. I don't know. You can just roll a 1d100.
Okay, my survival. Oop, there it goes.
Ah, perfect. All right. Yeah. So, Watchmaker and Tigo. You actually do hear, like, you start with your survival training, where you wait and listen to see if you can hear anything that would indicate something, and you can actually hear someone, like a small cry for help.
Does it sound like a voice we know?
It sounds, in fact, like Vladimir Volkstein.
Oh, good.
It's actually coming from, you hear it through the window, coming from the courtyard.
All right.
Let's all play together.
Take a look from
Yeah,
there.
let's head over towards the courtyard window.
So, looking out the window into the courtyard, you see Vladimir. He is struggling against some invisible unknown force, and it is just shoving his head into the fountain, and he's like trying to keep his head above water, but he is not succeeding, and eventually just like the head just gets dunked into the water, and he's like flailing his limbs attempting to get out, but his head is not coming out above the water.
How big of a... Well, one, how high are we?
Oh, you're on the ground floor.
Ground floor? Well, rush out there and like drag him out of the water.
Okay. How do you
Let's go out there.
the windows are stuck shut.
What about the doors? Do the doors work?
Do we know if a long las or a las gun shot counts as a flame?
You're not sure.
I don't think we do.
Well, I'm gonna unlimber my long las and get ready to shoot through the window and try to shoot his attacker.
Oh, okay. Do you
Does anybody want to stop me? Like, I'm clearly setting up to do this.
No.
And I'm not using my
What are you
bolter.
shooting at?
Well, he's shooting at the assumed where this thing would be.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I will experimentally put a shot through, like, the
Well,
way
he's
he's thrashing, now that his head is being held under, he's not, like, pulling back up so I won't accidentally hit him.
Yeah, and I would assume Watchmaker's good enough shot. I would assume
Yeah,
he
he's-
would be able to not hit
He's
him.
gonna do this right, and, well, here we go. I will take a shot and
We're
try
gonna
to
find
attack
out.
the attacker.
So Watchmaker fires through the window, leaves a nice melting hole in the glass, and you see the las shot just pass through where you assume the attack would be, and Vladimir is continuing to be held under. It just doesn't seem to affect it. And after the fire, or like the shot you fired, you just hear inside of your head like a harsh, low whisper from as if it's from like dozens of voices inside your head.
Oh, good.
Cool.
Can I kick the window and see if like can bust it down?
Yeah, make a strength test or an athletics test, whichever you prefer.
Let's go with strength.
Okay.
I missed. How high up are we?
Oh, you're on the ground floor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice. Yeah, Tigo just like Tigo grabs onto the window like sill, like the top part of it, and just like kicks through, and then like one smooth motion like kicks out the window and passes through the glass. Although Tigo, shoot, here's the thing: you got to be aware of glass shards when you went to go kick it. So
Acrobatics
just
to see if I
make an acrobatics check to see if you like avoid the shards of glass.
Let's just do a
Sure.
100
Yeah, I'm probably just gonna have to do that, unfortunately.
and
All I know is pain.
let's see. You know what's gonna happen, right? Let's see.
Man, get
That's
5-foot
2 degrees
ball.
of failure. Let me just redo that then.
Do a fate point.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, there you go. Tigo smashes through and is able to like squeeze his body through so that the glass shards do not actually cut him. And for the rest of you, you just see like this big person-shaped hole, but there's like glass shards around. So if you needed to, you'd have to spend some time clearing it, or you can attempt to jump through it with the possibility of getting cut.
And can I just like run over there and pull him out of the water?
Yeah, Tigo runs over to Vladimir and grabs onto him. There really isn't any resistance. It's just like he was kind of like in the water and just for whatever reason couldn't pull his head up, and just Tigo is like able to drag him out, and he's just he gets on his hands and knees and just like coughs up a whole load of like dirty, grimy water. And he's just like on his like falls to his side and like trying to catch his breath.
This is why we don't fuck with these things.
You thought you were not fuckwithable, but the one fucked with was you.
I've done my good deed for the day. I'm gonna head out, guys.
Oh my god, I'll see you guys later.
Thanks,
Just
Diego.
Bye, guys.
Enjoy this planet.
see you next week.
I just go like this, like do like the MXL like hand flip.
Oh yeah, so Tigo, also when you're outside, you actually notice something. The trees that were, they were pretty tightly packed together, just they grow very close together. Now they are even more so. They are crossing each other, like the limbs of the trees are crossing, and it's forming a kind of like sharp barrier around, like, just past the walls of the manor.
Oh.
And you look up, and where before you could see stars, it is pitch black. There are no stars visible.
This is some warp shit, isn't it?
You don't see the reflection of the moon that were there. You don't see any light coming from the sky.
They done summoned the evil and changed our local context. Someplace bad.
Why do they call it Scary Town?
Is there any way we can? Is like anything we can do to see if it is warp stuff, like or like psychic energy or anything like that?
Yeah, do you have the sign essence skill?
The what?
Signescence. It's a scion thing.
I don't think
No
any of
for
us
me,
have
dog.
that. That's a no for me, dog.
Yep, me neither.
No, not really. You would need like a psyker or somebody that had like that skill training that would let them take the sign essence skill without actually being a psyker.
Were any of these
It's safe to
morons?
say it's a
Were any
warp.
of these morons possibly a psyker?
I'm not sure.
Can we ask this guy?
Yeah, we could ask this guy.
Yeah, I mean he's like
You
he's
there,
caught his
fool.
breath. Yeah, what?
Do any of your compatriots have psychic sensitivity?
I don't think so. None of them mentioned it.
Yeah, probably should have brought one, but anyway.
I mean, we were concerned that a psyker might have maybe caused some increased psychic phenomenon or warp presence.
Oh, you mean
Oh,
like this?
Yeah, I think we're there.
Well, true. Oh.
Oh my lord.
That being said, he actually does he puts his hand on your shoulder. Thank you for saying. I don't know what happened. The room went dark, and then when the light returned, I was in the courtyard, and I could just feel something dragging me to the fountain.
Alright,
Ugh.
well, let's look
Let's.
for your companions, because I imagine something equally horrific has befallen them.
True.
Heck, they're probably dead by now, but we stand here talking.
Well, let's go look. But before we do, I want to look at the fountain and kind of warn everybody to if I suddenly start getting drowned, pull me back up. But I want to inspect the fountain with awareness to see if maybe there's something in it that the ghost might be, or a ghost might be tied to.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and make an awareness roll.
I am making it.
Or just roll a 1d100 and just tell me what you're rolling against.
Yeah, it'll be
Maybe
perception.
the fountain is where he drowned the first of his layabout sons.
Maybe.
We'll find some
So
bones.
this is versus a 64.
All right. Watchmaker
I can do an awareness too after.
If you wouldn't mind.
Watchmaker looks into the fountain, and he's not sure, but he feels like he sees a double-headed bird looking up at him, and just in his head hears, "You again?" And he just shakes his head and looks down, and it's just like an empty fountain. It's grimy, and you can't see the bottom of it.
Hmm.
Double-headed bird.
Yeah, probably like the Imperial
The
Attila.
sigil.
No, you've seen this before in a recording.
Oh fuck! God damn it!
Oh, there's mine.
Different kind of double-headed bird.
Tigo looks. Okay, Tigo takes he takes a stick and he dips it into the fountain and he just pushes aside the grime. He sees the bottom of the fountain, but he doesn't actually see anything indicating some
Bless you.
some spectral presence.
Uh,
Like old
does
bones,
the
no.
does the air actually give a sense of spectral presence?
You can't really feel it. You would need like the psiessence trait.
Okay.
Local man no longer feeling it. Hmm.
But at this point, you hear like a harsh scream coming from like the grand hall you first entered in through.
Well, it's not Dally.
Gar looks at the guy. Oh, one of your friends.
Show
Let's
them what
go.
they've won, Johnny.
A brand new possession.
Yay!
So yeah, the double doors leading into the grand hall are rattling. You can hear the metal of the lock that has like it's unlocked, but you do hear it like rattling, and like the handles and the knockers are rattling as the doors are shaking.
Well, let's open it.
Kick the doors down.
What do you guys think about that?
Kick
Open
the
Yeah,
doors.
let's open it.
Might as well.
You touch the handles, and they feel very warm.
Ooh, spectral fire.
Are they burning?
And you open the doors, and you see Manfred Wolfenbach, and he's in a ring of green spectral fire. It's completely surrounding him. His clothes are smoking. He has burns on his hands and face. And he's like, ah! And like the flames are shrinking in towards him, and he
Don't
is.
panic, Manfred.
He
Question.
is.
Should I use would my null rod have any effect on this if it is like
I should expect so. That,
Can
or
we
I think
throw
we put
salt on
on
it?
the spectral fire to put it out, maybe.
Yeah.
I will try brandishing my one of the holy symbols they gave us as I run in to try to pull him out of the center of the flame.
Okay.
I
So
forgot
you
about the holy symbols?
You brandish a holy symbol, and you hold out in front of you, and the flames do seem to recede as it approaches. And they are slowly they're shrinking. Not a lot. They like get maybe like in that general area where the you are. They just drop down about half, but they're still at about chest height.
Eve throws some salt on the fire.
The salt does recede a little bit more as the fire recedes a little bit as the salt gets thrown onto it.
Gar will, as it recedes, Gar will grab the guy by the shoulders and just pick him up
Yank him out.
bodily and move him out of the flames.
All right, so Gar's gonna have to reach through a little bit of the fire currently.
That's all right.
All right, this is going to be against reduced by your toughness, not your armor. Reduce 9 damage by your toughness.
Dang.
Take 4 wound.
Throw holy water at Gar.
Gar reaches
Ooh, only
in.
making me wetter.
The fire burns your arm, but Gar doesn't even flinch and just grabs this guy by his shoulder and just yanks him through. And he's just like on the ground, and he's like whimpering from pain, but he is breathing, as far as you can tell.
Oh,
Gar
good.
looks out at him disapprovingly and says, "Faith, Manfred, faith!
He's
Stayed."
pretty he's pretty out of it from what you could see. He's not really responding to your like commands.
Slap, 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 slap.
Tigo, check him for smoke inhalation.
Uh,
You're our medic. I'm
Got
just the
it.
guy who knows smoke inhalation is a thing with no idea how to treat it.
okay,
Ow,
hang
God,
on.
fuck.
Let me check my mods.
Oh, okay.
Ah, piss.
Where Tiga would normally be well aware of damage that fire can cause either through burns or smoke insulation, this spectral flame is completely unknown to him. It burns like fire, but it doesn't cause burns like fire.
Is there a chance this could be a psychic phenomena? And I can use a null
I
rod.
think everything is a psychic phenomenon.
Well, can I use a null rod to like maybe it's just a mental thing?
Yeah, you could turn on the null rod if you want.
How
Turn
do
it on.
I?
Tap him in the head with it.
Yeah.
No block.
Boop him in the snoot.
Yeah.
I just have to roll. What is it for? I guess the range of it.
Yeah, you gotta roll for the range.
What is it?
It is 2d10 for the
2d10.
meters. All right, so Tigo he turns on the null rod and holds it above his head, and the spectral flame diminishes, and really any of like the strange wind and like the bleeding statues within the 8 meters range are immediately stop before they just start again, and the null rod just feels actually pretty hot in your hand.
Oh, biscuits.
But what about this guy? Did he like snap out of it from that?
No, not from that. Like any spectral flame remaining on him did dissipate and didn't return, but he is like just in too much pain to
Yeah,
actually.
he's just in shock. We'll drag him out of here. He'll be fine.
You grab one leg, I grab one leg.
Vladimir comes in. So I can take care of Manfred.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just gonna stay with him here.
Could we get him outside and throw some
together.
water in his face?
Oh, whoops. Piss.
Is that an actual good idea?
Probably not, but we could probably. Well, I guess it's not burning his flesh, so we don't need to treat him for burns.
Right.
What are we hoping to get out of Manfred?
Just information on what the hell he's seen or what's going on.
Get him on his feet so he's not a liability.
Yeah.
All right, you help him up. He's in a lot of shock, but he does like get to his feet if somewhat unsteady.
Good. Now we can stay together. Maybe turn off the null rod, Tigo.
Yeah, that's I figured.
It does have an effect, but it's like not enough. But it might be enough to save us temporarily.
Yeah.
If we don't
Yeah,
leave
we
it
might
on
need it later.
Yeah, I pretty much just like switched it off after that.
Okay. Yeah, the null rod where it was like hot and somewhat painful to the touch is you turn it off and it immediately like starts to cool down. You're not sure what effect caused that with the null rod.
Man, it's only able to soak so much warp energy, and it's being overwhelmed. Is my untrained speculation.
It's possible from what you've heard about them.
So yeah, we'll just save it until we need it. Maybe it'll just give us a little bit of an edge. A sticky
good.
situation.
Vladimir chimes in. Where's the rest of the?
What are we missing? Like 2 more or 3?
Your team?
Yeah,
Probably, but
Ludger, Gazella, Conrad, and Isabella. They're all missing.
We're working on it. Do you remember seeing or hearing anything before you got spirited away?
I just felt like it went into darkness. I felt a number of hands on me, dragging me away through the darkness, and then into the courtyard is where I found myself.
Can I do an awareness to see if I can hear anybody?
Yeah, go ahead.
Alright, let's find out.
I will also try an awareness.
Okay.
Guys, Jesus!
I'll do one as well.
It's
Okay.
like, guys, I don't mean to alarm you, but I think this place might be haunted.
I'm going to do a quick GM roll for Vladimir. Hey, what do you know? I actually got a pretty good roll. Something. Do you hear something from the basement?
Let's go.
that sounds safe. To the basement.
Adventure awaits.
You head down the stairs. So behind the grand staircase is a small door leading into the basement. It's like this way. If you head down here, it will head to. From what I remember from the blueprints, it'll split apart into 2 paths: one to the collection room, one to the wine cellar.
All right. Can we try another listen now that we're down here?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I've hit the button.
Now we play the waiting game. Everyone have a good
Game sucks. Let's play
We
Hungry
should
Hungry
definitely
Ghost.
split apart. Just kidding.
No. Oh, Ma. Daphne.
Hey, there you go.
Oh my God, what is up with these rolls today?
Dude, I feel the same way. This is how Richter died. Alright, so Eve hears a shout from the wine cellar, and Tigo hears a shout from the collections room. And they split across into different wings of the building, one heading to the west, one heading to the east.
Gar's like, I've seen this movie. We shouldn't split up.
We should hide behind the chainsaws.
See, that was
It'll be
like, that's
fine.
when they were so on the nose that the murderer doesn't find you there.
You son of a bitch, I ever read your book.
But yeah, so walking down, and where the manor hall itself was very well, like nice wood panels, lush carpet, the wine cellar and like going into the basement, it's rough stone wall.
Cool. Well, wine cellar or collection room, team, or split up and probably die.
They don't pay us enough for this.
Well, let's split up and each of us take one NPC, each group.
Okay, how do you
Oh,
want to
or
split
did
up?
they stay behind?
Well, Manfred is kind of just being led around because he's in a bit of shock. Vladimir is rather reluctant to go into the basement. It's like, I could stay up. I'll stay up here with Manfred. We can just watch each other's backs.
I recommend that we frog march his ass down there.
Yeah, that's how you get dead, dude.
Make a command test to like order him down because he is not at all in any
Gar's
like.
just fool. We stay together or we all die.
Nice. Now let's split up.
You're right. You're right. Well, at which point he's like, "You're right. If we stay together, we'll be less likely to be killed."
I'm always right, even when I'm wrong.
He just kind of like guides Manfred down the stairs. All right. So who's going where? You have access to your. So we have collections hall here, wine cellar on this wing.
I'll go for wine cellar.
Okay.
I'll take the other way.
Okay.
I guess I'll go with Gar.
All right.
Okay, and I'll go with watchmaker.
Yes.
Wine cellar, collection hall, and does anybody care which NPC you go with or no?
Not at the moment. Should we?
I guess that's really up to you.
I feel like you do now.
Should we just keep the NPCs together and with
I would say one each to each group. But that's just me.
Conrad looks to Gar. Gar's the one who ordered him, so he's
That
gonna go
makes
with
sense.
Gar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Tigo grabs Manfred.
Get in the
bitch.
car.
Get in the car.
So
get it
we'll
going
start.
shopping?
We'll start with the wine cellar. Actually, that'll be fun. So marching down the hall towards the wine cellar, Gar, Eve,
Gar's like, this will be fine. Wine isn't heretical at all.
And Chewy.
Chewy.
Chewy, and Conrad Vladimir walk through, and they see, entering in, all the wine casks have been pushed aside, and in the center of the room, they see a Gazella Geheim. She has been strapped to a table, and there is a pendulum with a sharp blade slinging back and forth, slowly approaching her midsection, just mere inches from like slicing her in half. And she is screaming as this thing approaches.
Well, let's do something about that.
Can I like throw my chainsword to like? Oh boy, that's gonna take some skill that I don't have.
So we
Heresy in a nutshell. Ow.
need to either stop the mechanism or get her out of there before it chops her.
Watchmaker and Teagle watch the TV show in anticipation.
So Gar is unlikely to be able to figure out how to stop a swinging blade that has been summoned there by demonic forces.
It's
Unless
by
doesn't
like
actually-
a steel chain.
What was that?
Can I try disbelieving? I disbelieve.
Oh, that's not really part of the Imperial Creed. In fact, Gar has to believe even harder now.
Yeah, you're right.
Shit, you right.
What was the question? For-
It's swinging by like a steel chain.
Not by a chain. It's like a like a bar, like a metal bar that it's like the blade is connected to.
And she's like tied down with chains.
Yeah, she's like manacled to it with like metal rivets that are like attaching it to this metal table.
Oh God.
So we're not tied down. We could just grab the thing. How big is it? Is it the sort of thing that we could like lift, or is it
The
too
table?
massive?
The table is, well, I mean, it's like big enough to attach a person to. So it's about like 2 meters long and about
I mean,
a
the
meter
swinging,
wide.
Swinging blade. If we were to just like grab it and stop it from moving.
Oh, I mean, it's pretty big. It's about like yay long, like the blade itself. The actual metal bar is going up into the ceiling where it's like just into this darkness that you can't see into.
Interesting.
Like my youth pastor.
And how close to her is it? Is it like the next swing is gonna chop her in half? Or
It's a couple inches away. She's like sucking in her gut to like try and buy a little more time, but it's getting closer and closer.
all right, so I'm going to run up and start striking off the manacles with my chain axe.
All right, go ahead and
All right, I'll do it too.
make a weapon skill attack against the manacles, holding her to the table.
Take that manacle.
Just weapon skill.
Yes. All right. Gar and Eve are able to just take their chain swords, chain axes, and just like chop down into like the table where like it's being held. And you hear the metal on metal screech, but you do eventually manage to pop it off of her hands. And she's able to like get her hands, like slip her hands out and just like my feet. And she like points down and like over her boots are being like another set of like manacles. And she's like trying to like, she could get a little more like loose, but she's still being held in place by those second sets there.
Well, let's break those too.
Okay, go ahead and make a weapon skill attack.
Should I fate that?
No, you wanna
I
face
think
that.
with one leg free, she should be able to scurry out from the blade anyway.
So Gar's able to easily chop into the table, just like he did with a hand, and she's able to get a leg out. And she's attempting to unfortunately, Gar goes first, strikes, and she gets the leg out, and she's attempting to move, and Eve strikes, and it cuts into her leg.
Oops.
Ah! And blood is starting to flow from,
Oh.
and spectral entities start to just come in from the darkness, like heading towards you. People dressed as servants or dressed as like Navy personnel, dressed as rogue traders, and they're coming at you. And they're the same as like Tor Valen, where you can see like for one moment it's like a normal person, just like the translucent spectral green. Then on the next moment they're like the skeleton, and then back to the normal looking person, and they're like reaching out with you, for you. And
I brandish my holy items quickly.
brandishing the holy items at the ones coming towards Eve, they like get close and then they start to dissipate into like this mist and fog,
Mist could pass.
and they just like disappear. Gazella is able to jump, like get off of the table enough, like roll onto the ground, and is like holding her like skirt to her like the gash on her leg, and is just like trying to stem the blood flow.
Has she gotten free?
Yeah, she's free now. Like the pendulum blade at this point just strikes the table and just like slices it in half, like this nice clean slice.
Ooh.
And the thing just collapses, and the pendulum just raises back into the darkness and completely vanishes.
Do I have an
Nice.
extra holy item that I can let her use?
You have the one on you, and that's
Okay.
about
They
it.
brought their own.
Okay.
If they didn't, then they suck at their jobs.
She's like, I had one somewhere.
Yeah. So the most important thing here is that this blood not be being spilled anymore. Can we, without knowledge of Medicaid, just like common knowledge, just wrap it with something? So that
I
it's
mean,
not bleeding
yeah,
through?
you could do it like, if you're not trained in Medicaid, you could do it at the -20 to attempt to stem the blood flow, because this is actually a pretty nasty gash.
Would have
Yeah.
thought
Also, I have,
chainswords
like,
were good
can
at
I,
cutting
can I
them.
do like Arbites knowledge, like field knowledge?
No. Our buddy's knowledge isn't strictly for anything like first aid. It's more for like the opposite of
Gotcha.
that.
The opposite.
We could both try though, because Gar is hella stupid, and -20 means he's rolling against a 9. So
It's fine.
Medicaid -20.
Yep.
it'll
I
it'll,
mean-
it'll be -20 for
Ooh.
me. Like as a negative.
Oh, I'm sure I said I was factoring in because if you're untrained, it already does the -20.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter. Either way, you both are like,
What happened?
you know what?
Oh, well,
As much as I've like killed people with this chain axe, don't know how to stop it. That was always a Tigo thing.
well, let's drag her out of there and see if we can
As you are dragging her
hold
out,
up our holy symbols and fend off things and just kind of drag her.
Road trip.
every time you like dissipate
Road trip to
one
Tigo.
of the spectral entities, they moments later reappear at the other end and are like approaching you. You have to keep holding up your holy symbols and like keep banishing them, and they just keep coming back after just a few minutes. But you are able to keep them at bay.
That's fine. If Bay works.
At the exact moment this is going on, Watchmaker and Tigo enter into the collections room, and entering in, you see a lot of his collections, various statues, suits of armor, weapons held on the wall, as well as all of his torture equipment that he had been collecting through the year, like the rack, the like a chair with like spikes in where you would sit, and manacles to keep you in place. And you see in the back corner, it's a Iron Maiden, and you see Isabella Lichberg, and she is like being held in place as the Iron Maiden closes in on her. And you just see like there's a single bit where the eyes of the Iron Maiden would be, and you see her like face through it, and she's just like panicking, and she's like as it's closing in on her.
Let's sprint in and try to get her out of that.
Yeah, let's do that.
I do have a good sprint speed.
All right, so you run over to her as
Yes.
it's like closing, and so it's very nearly shut, and like the spikes are like really like, and she's like trying to squeeze herself tight to like not get hit, and it's just like, but what do you do to like keep it from closing?
Can
in on her?
I wedge the door thing? Like, I'm gonna take like that golden Aquila symbol, like thrust it in between the closing doors, and then turn it sideways so that like it'll stop them from closing all the way.
Yeah,
I'll
go
try to get her out.
ahead and make. I'm trying to think of the proper test for actually like making sure you do it like in time and actually like getting it. I would say you could do like maybe a sleight of hand to try and like get the dexterity going both quick enough and like get it so that it like closes on the actual symbol itself.
Okay, I have hit the button. I will be rolling at a -20, but I do have a good score. I'm gonna fate that.
Okay.
That was a critical fail. Are you for
Yeah.
fucking real?
About that critical fail, by the way.
Jesus!
Well, what would Tigo like to do while this is going on?
I'm just shocked at those rolls.
Ian, would you like me to say it again? With tears in my eyes.
Yeah, Watchmaker goes to like go and put this in, and he like trips over a stone that's slightly raised, and like the religious symbol like tumbles out of his hand, and like just strikes the back wall.
I was gonna try to catch it, and then they turn on the null rod at the same time.
What would Tigo like to do?
I guess run up to it, attempt to stop it. Maybe. Is there any flames like to give me the indication is the same thing that happened with the fire? It's obviously the same stuff.
There's no flames. There's no like green spectral flames. Is that what you're asking?
Oh, all right. Can I turn on the null rod? Maybe stop it temporarily so I can push back the Iron Maiden.
Yeah, go ahead. Turn on the null rod. Just roll a 2d10.
I have another possible idea for saving her if we bomb this, but
Okay.
nice.
The null rod flips on. The doors were shutting, but they like freeze for a moment, and the null rod starts to heat up. And it's
while
like
you're holding the rod, I will quickly try to pull the doors open and get her out.
Okay. Make a strength or athletics roll, whichever you prefer. Actually, this would probably be strength.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other because my athletics is.
Can I actually
Yeah.
help him? I mean, I could hold
Come
it.
the fuck on!
Jesus, these rolls.
Can I try?
Please do.
Yeah, Tigo, make a strength test, but okay, so you're holding the null rod with one hand, so you're gonna have to do this at a -10. Because you're trying to open this up with one hand. Oh, wow. Okay. The null
I
rod.
got you.
So, working together, you're able to like pry the doors open enough, and this null rod is heating up and burning your hand. Tigo, I want you to make a willpower roll to try, or a toughness roll, to try and keep your hand on this burning null rod as like smoke and steam starts to come from it.
I would have done.
Whichever you prefer.
I don't know. Toughness seems more likely for that one.
Yeah, well, I mean, a 71 would have been
That
like.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I'll fate that.
Okay. Man, roll 20. You being mean today.
This thing is a cunt.
This is freaky. I
All right.
think Bonnie is haunted.
If I have time before the thing closes and kills her, I am going to light that glow stick in my mouth and move away from her to try to draw the spirits from the Iron Maiden to me.
Okay.
So I will take out my Imperial lighter, like light it very quickly.
Could I also toss him the null rod to hold it while it's on?
Oh no, you this null rod was too hot. You dropped it.
Oh, well, he
Yeah.
can pick it up.
This null rod is now red hot. But yeah, Watchmaker actually could if he wanted to. But so resolving this, but we'll do what Watchmaker's planning. So you light your Imperial Guard lighter, and where you and Tigo working together, plus the null rod, you're able to keep the doors from closing any further. Now, like spectral entities are appearing before you, and the doors are no longer shutting, and they are more or less able to be opened without any real resistance. But these spectral entities are like running towards you, and there's a lot of them.
Get her out! Get her out! Get her out!
Yeah, I want to grab her. I want to pull her out.
All right.
or like I don't know, a combination of like pulling her out and this is yelling at her. We need to go.
Okay, Tigo, make a command roll to yell at her to like get out soon, like right now.
Not like she's gonna
Can I
stay.
also attempt command?
Yes, you can.
Okay, whatever.
I would say though that yeah, she does. No, it's not like she's wanting to stay inside. So I would say that'd be at a +10 anyway. So
Okay. What
Well-
happened?
Watchmaker yells at her, "Out! Out! 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 Out!" And Tigo is able to like open up his half. This is like your movie Iron Maiden, where it's like in two bits that like the doors close together in the center. He's able to open up his half of it, and she is like trying to squeeze out through that open bit. Doesn't want to touch the actual inside of the door because it's covered in spikes.
Understandable.
What would Tigo like to do? Because she's not quite able to get out from just the
Can
one
I use
half.
both hands and pull it open more?
Yeah. So you want to like run to the other end and like try and open up that other half?
So they stopped closing?
They have stopped closing.
Yeah, I can go to the other.
Yeah, you work
end.
on her. I'm gonna go to the null rod and try to use that to keep the spirits off my ass for another few seconds.
Okay. So the null rod's red hot. To actually grab it and utilize it, you're gonna have to make a toughness roll to avoid like.
Can I do a willpower to tank the damage?
Yes, you can.
Hey!
With your faith in the God Emperor, Watchmaker grabs the null rod, lifts it above his head, and the spirits dissipate into this like fog.
I smite thee.
Ow, ow,
Tigo is
ow,
able.
ow.
Watchmaker, weirdly hot, but not even hot, but like just kind of warm to the touch, and the null rod just shuts off as Tigo opens up the door, and Isabella Ditchberg just tumbles out and is like running toward, like just kind of scrambling towards you, like hands and knees, just like trying to get her bearing, get her balance, and get back up.
Let me lay out.
Now kiss.
Now, kiss.
Now kiss.
And the null rod, the null rod shuts off in your hand, but this, your fire goes out, and the spirits are not really like. At this point, they don't come back.
Hope we didn't break the null rod.
Hi.
Doubtful.
She just like wipes sweat from her brow.
Woof. Other than that, God Emperor, how was the heresy?
We're 3 for 3. We don't know about them yet, though.
Despite the dice's best fucking efforts. Kinda, I'll hand the rod back to Tigo, shaking out my hand, even though it didn't, like the burning kind of went ethereal, but still, just like.
It's around this point that Gar, Eve, and Gazella just enter in, and you see she's got like this where she had pressed like the cloth to her leg wound. It's like bleeding through.
We got blood.
Here you go. We got a blood situation here. I don't know what it means. How that works. Can you help?
We
How
don't
does
know
blood
what.
work.
Blood is important.
Well,
I know it's important. I like to keep mine inside. That's all I know about it.
Okay, let me do my.
It's like that Ogloff comic. Now begins the reign of blood. Seems a tad grim, Sar. No, blood is important. You need blood to live.
Well, I did the roll, so.
Okay, now we play the waiting game.
The waiting
I
game
bel-
always sucks.
I believe.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Well, you know what I'm going to do here.
You're gonna re-roll that one?
Yeah. What? Oh, that's without
Wait a
the
minute.
mods. That's
Okay.
without the mods.
I was about to say.
Yeah. So Tigo's able to like take the med kit, open it up, get like a suture, and just very quickly like suture it close, and like suture the. Now that blood isn't being shed, the spirits that were like following you and like Eve and Gar were keeping at bay with their holy symbols of just like retreated back into the darkness.
Oh,
Oh, boy.
I thought you were gonna bleed more.
Time enough for that later. Who's left that we need to go find?
Conrad thinks for a moment. No, I'm sorry. Damn it, Vladimir. Vladimir thinks for a moment. Conrad. Conrad and Ludgar are missing.
Let's not dally.
Let us listen.
Where haven't we been? I'll listen out.
Yeah. Let's see.
It is now 1:38, and I have no more fucking.
Wow, I finally succeeded on something. It's a miracle.
Watchmaker both listening and thinking about where they haven't been. The library. The library in the greenhouse.
Let's go.
You run up the stairs. Conrad, or damn it, Vladimir.
God, man, eating plants now. I bet.
You know, I'm really just gonna have to give you guys Conrad because I keep fucking saying his name.
We'll find him.
Vladimir is both. He gathers together the people you'd saved. He has Gazella and just kind of like leans. She leans on him like and is like using her one good leg to kind of like move forward. As Vladimir also like supports Manfred and has Isabella behind them. And they're going a little slow just because they can't really keep up with you guys as you rush forward.
Someone almost had their leg amputated.
Sorry.
Whatever, she
If
can
it
get
didn't go well, she was totally getting her leg amputated. Like that was my next move if she didn't get free.
I mean, there would have been more blood, and we would have had more spirits. I think.
Here comes the implosion. Implosion.
You run up the stairs back into the lobby and or the main entrance, and you run into the wing where the library and greenhouse is as Vladimir follows a bit behind. He's falling slower. He's falling more and more behind as you are running fast, and he can't really having to keep his people together, but.
Well,
Running-
let's not go so fast that we lose.
Yeah,
sight.
we don't wanna split up here.
Okay, so you slow down seeing this, and you eventually make your way into the library, into the greenhouse. And so you see the greenhouse, the windows have all been shattered, and in the library, it's somewhat similar where the ceiling is very dark, and you see Conrad Kane, and he has a noose around his neck, and he's being pulled into this like darkness of the ceiling.
Can I quick draw one of my weapons, aim, and shoot the noose rope?
Yes, you can.
I will do that with a single shot from my, I guess my bolt gun.
Okay.
Picky.
And so this is going to be a half action aim, short range,
Yeah.
single fire, and 15 modifier, single shot, normal firing. Yes, I did. Can I get some numbers on that, please?
1,000,000.
A bagel. No! 2 bagels. There we go.
There we go. All right. Watchmaker fires. The bolt round punches through the rope and just disappears into the darkness. You don't hear any explosions, hear any flash. But Conrad Kane tumbles and hits the ground, and with the noose still around his neck. Vladimir goes over to grab his hand as Conrad reaches out, and Vladimir's hand passes right through his.
Uh-oh.
And Conrad looks down, turns like the translucent green, and disappears.
I think your boy Conrad dead.
So it would seem.
Vladimir's. I've known Conrad like at least 10 years now. He was my friend.
Well, you brought him to a seance with the warp world, so.
I
Good
didn't.
job.
What kind of friend are you?
We didn't even want to come here. It was all Ludger. He was insistent. Like Conrad just like sits down in like a chair. It's like it's far worse than I could ever suspected.
Tell us more about Ludger and his insistence on this mission.
We met him some 20 years ago. Well, at least I did. He was obsessed with this place ever since, as far as I could. Rumors I heard he was been obsessed with this place for decades now. But it was only after making enough friends, making enough influence, he's been able to get the quarantine lifted temporarily for the seance. It's everything he's ever wanted, as far as I can tell.
Yeah, we should find him and ask him some questions. But he's probably dead. But we should find him. To the greenhouse.
Yeah.
So you make your way towards the greenhouse, out of the library. The greenhouse, all the glass is shattered. It's just like the metal frame. All the plants have wilted. Except for some roses, which are nice and spiky.
Thematic.
But the greenhouse itself is empty of any people.
Ludger! Are you here?
Wanker.
You don't call for him, but you don't hear anything.
Oof. I will awareness to look around.
Okay, make an awareness check. Hey, right. Watchmaker, you're like calling and you don't hear anything, but you look up to the top of the manor and you see a light coming from a room at the very top.
At the
I'll point
office.
that out quickly.
And Vladimir's just like, well, you could take the stairs up.
I've got a mag line. Do we have enough people who are able climbers?
He just like looks at the rest of his group.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
We spend more time inside of in prayer and meditation than we do any true physical activity.
Fair enough. Well, let's run for the stair then, unless you guys want to join me in quickly ascending and leaving these guys to die. I feel like that's how that goes if we split up.
Carl will take the stairs.
All right. So running, you guiding everyone back into the grand hall and going up the staircase. You find yourselves on the second floor, and Vladimir is just saying, here's primarily servants' quarters, bedrooms. We'd have to go up farther, probably into the attic itself, where the office was.
Well, let's do that. That seems like where Luger will be.
Well, there's a stairway leading to the attic down that hall. And he points down a dark hallway.
Yeah. Let's. Do we have any stab lights?
Gar has a glow globe.
That'll work. Assuming the glow globe works.
I attempt to activate the glow globe.
The glow
Wait,
globe.
is that light on fire? No.
It's more like an LED.
Okay.
Gar lights up the glow globe, and the darkness closes in. And really, like, you can see the glow of the glow globe for like a foot.
Is that an improvement on before the glow globe?
Oh yeah, it's an improvement because it was like pitch black down this hallway before. You were really like looking down this hallway, and the little bit of light coming from the grand hall up the staircase gave enough illumination. But looking down the hallway, it's like lines of doors into like pitch blackness. And as you entered in and turned on the glow globe, the darkness just envelops you. It's like just a blanket of absolute black.
Can I see with my photo contacts?
No, you cannot.
I was about to say. Well, nothing for it. We gotta go find the spooks.
The Emperor protects. Gar starts off down the hallway, slowly holding up the glow globe.
Vladimir, I have a candle, but
Skip that.
it'll agitate the spirits a little bit, but I mean...
Yeah, if lighting the glow globe made things like this, I don't suggest the candle. Keep that in reserve, Vladimir. And follow me.
Ugh.
You make your way through this dark hallway, and eventually you just trip over something.
Is it a body?
You're not sure. Well, Gar's in the front. Gar's not sure what it is.
I will lower the glow globe down so that I can see what the fuck it is.
It is a tipped over chair.
Ah,
Mysterious.
no worries, team. It is a chair. I move the chair out of the way.
Gar moves the chair out of the way, like just rights it back up,
Sure,
and
throws
immediately
himself back in the way.
falls back. Not in the way, but like tips over again.
All right.
Go
Gar
around.
steps over the chair.
And Gar moves away, and you can see a little bit through the glow globe. You can see Gar holding it. And as he steps away, you see his shadow remain in place.
Ooh. Spooky.
Anybody want to mention that?
Yeah, I'll go. Hey, Gar, you left something.
I look back.
Gar's shadow vanishes and is back to where it should be.
Awesome.
Yeah. Par for the course. Come on, team.
Yep, let's go.
Heading down the hallway, it's still pitch black. You're like feeling your way along the wall. And eventually, you do see something. You see the glowing green spectral force of these spirits. Looks to be just a number of maids and servants coming out. You see an older man dressed as the head servant.
I'm gonna hail the spirit of the head servant and say, "Hello there, Spectre."
Very good, sir.
Can I get the
All right then.
The master is busy. Please.
Oh.
Stay. We will guide you to a room you can stay at. Please, come with me, sir. Like, reaches out a skeletal hand.
I'll just bring up the holy symbol.
You know, from me, dog.
Quite rude, sir.
Yeah. We're not gonna be staying long. Where's a good place to wait for the master to be free?
Points to a room. There. That room is free for you, sirs.
Cool. I feel like this ghost just wants me to die. I don't think I trust it. I'm gonna scrutinize the ghost.
Yeah, go ahead.
Seems reasonable.
Does it want me to die?
Yes.
The ghost wants you to go into the room and wait and wait and keep waiting.
Indefinitely. Got it.
Until you die.
Instead, could you point out the staircase to the attic, good sir?
Points farther down the hall. End of the hall and turn right, sir.
Well, thank you, good man. I offer him a coin.
For the fairy.
He like reaches out his hand and the coin just falls through.
Like, I'll just leave this here for you. You'll figure it out. And he continues down the hall.
As it passed through his hand, it like instantly rusts.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's with the manor now, sir. And if you don't hurry up, all of you will be as well.
Understood. Let's go.
Mr. Spectre.
You make your way down the hallway, and there's a, to the right is a staircase leading up.
Wow, what a helpful ghost.
You make your way up the staircase, and basically a long hall, like at the top, that leads to a door at the end. There's a few more doors, but they've all been like shut up and locked. But it's the door at the hallway, at the end of the hallway there, that's... The door's closed, but you see light coming from underneath it.
Well, only one road in Canada, boys.
The death road.
You make your way to the, You make your way to the end of the hall, at the door. You hear some shouting coming from the room.
Tally-ho.
The door
I
itself...
kick the door.
Go ahead, make a strength check. The door is locked.
Tigo, team up with him.
Okay.
Team attack.
All right, if you're working together, you'll get a plus 10 to this.
Okay. Plus 10.
All right. Gark kicks it a little closer to the hinge that he truly attended, but Tigo is able to like just kick it at the lock,
It's like I've done this before.
and the door just flies open, and you see this spectral green entity floating above of Tor Valen, and you see Ludger on his knees. He's like, "It's rightfully mine. Give it to me." And behind the specter in the office, behind the desk, is a large picture, and it shows Tor Valen and his family, his wife, his children. And looking at the picture, you realize somebody in the picture looks very familiar.
It's Luther.
And you looked at Luger, and although older, the rejuve treatments have kept him in good enough shape, and you realize he's the same person as in the picture.
Is he the youngest one of the older ones?
He looks to be the youngest. He is if the person in the picture is the shorter of all the children.
All right. And how does the ghost respond to his pleading?
He laughs at him,
Understandable. Have a nice day.
and then Luger he doesn't even notice you. He just continues ranting. "I was the most dutiful. You could not have denied this to me." And the ghost just stops laughing. It's like, "You killed them." And Luger just like from like his eyes well up electricity, and it just like arcs from his eyes to the ghost and strikes the wall.
Okay. Haven't seen that before.
You actually have from Ariana.
Ah.
Oh.
He's the psyker. Right. What's the least bloody way to kill him?
Bludgeon him with the null rod?
Can we charge him and knock him out? Oh, well, he's a psyker.
Yeah.
The null rod is not a bad idea, I must say.
But he looks to you, he's like, realizing that you're here now. "Wait! The warrant of trade's here. If I can get it, we could just leave." That's what he wants.
We could just leave anyway. damned fool.
Do you really think you can? Do you see any stars? Can you get in touch with your inquisitorial contacts?
I have a feeling that after we beat you to death with the null rod, that'll work itself out.
Wait,
With the what? Wham!
no, you don't understand. It's here. If I could just get it, we could leave.
We could leave. We could both leave.
Gar's gonna check in with the ghost for his opinion on this. Hey, Mr. Spectre, what do you think about this? Are you gonna give this guy the thing, or?
He just laughs and points to his desk. It's right in the top drawer there.
I'm gonna scrutiny that because I suspect he's being honest, but he's being honest the same way a genie is honest about the twist on a wish.
Yeah, go ahead. Oh, that was a scrutiny. Damn, that was good. Yeah, nope, he's being perfectly honest, but he definitely has like this kind of mischievous, like, I've already won kind of look in his eye.
I'll go over to the desk and put a hand on the drawer without opening it, and I'll look up at the ghosts and say, what is it going to take to get us out of the warp and back home and put this matter to rest?
Yeah, what will satisfy you, Mr. Ghosty Face?
He just laughs. Just give him what he wants.
Is that what you want?
Once this is free, we'll be free from this hell.
Well, I'll open the drawer. I have a feeling this is going to be a fun yes, but.
Yeah, you open up the drawer. Ludger is just like, please, I just need to, I can have it. I'll be the rogue trader. I can continue the dynasty.
Something tells me this isn't going to go the way you want it to go, but I'll step aside and let him at the drawer.
He opens it up, pulls it out, looks at it, and just starts laughing. Like, louder and louder. Tears are streaming down his face.
Told you.
He just, like, drops it on the table and just, like, collapses in the chair. And do you look at it? Does anybody look at what he just looked at?
Yes.
Watchmaker
Yes.
looks over the
just ready.
document.
I'm just ready to bludgeon him with the null rod, so you just let me know. Thumbs up or whatever.
He goes just standing by.
It's not a warrant of trade, actually. It's a, it has a specific name. It is called a letter of marque. And a letter of marque has restrictions on it that a warrant of trade doesn't. This restriction says that being a rogue trader applies only to Tor Valen and is not transferable to any of his descendants.
That's about what I expected.
What an unhappy family.
And Ludger just starts laughing and laughing and is not stopping. And just like, and through the laughs, it's like, it was for nothing. It was all for nothing. My entire life was for nothing.
Yeah, that's what ghostly curses are like.
That is so sad.
Yeah,
Tigo, play Despacito.
You really want me to club him?
We could cold cock him with a null rod at this point, though. We might as well just fucking leave him here.
Let's ask his team leader what he thinks about it. What does Vladimir think about
Vladimir comes in,
the situation?
says, he was a lie. He just lied to us.
Yeah, he lured you here deceptively, and really, I don't think cared about getting you all killed if he got what he wanted.
Speaking of,
what's your thoughts?
is the ghost still here?
Oh no, Tor Valen is dissipating into a fog. Like, his laugh is just like matched up to the laugh of Ludger.
Okay, I kind of figured. I was gonna ask him about the one guy we didn't save. I guess I could still ask it to the room as he's fading away.
Hey, can you send him back? Can we trade him for him?
He belongs to the manor now, and he just dissipates in the fog. And
Oh, that went well.
We saved like 4 out of 5.
yeah, man, Vladimir's just like, my friend is dead because of him. Do what you will. Like, the absolute hatred that is coming from, like, him and the rest of his group, sans Manfred, who's still in shock, is just...
Can I get a, like a plus on my weapon skill for this?
Yeah, just cold cock him and we'll bring him to the Inquisition. They can do what they want with him.
Oh yeah, no, he's not even resisting. This doesn't require a test. Tigo just, like, knocks him out.
Just boops his
All right.
snoot.
I'll just arrest him.
Just bashes him over the head. He just like collapses.
All right. We'll take care of him, Vladimir. Let's all focus on getting off planet now.
Around this point, you get a message on your Vox from Selena.
Oh, good.
What happened down there? We've been trying to reach you for the past 8 hours.
Dynasty's haunted. I rack the slide on my bolt gun. Dynasty's haunted.
Should have approved my vacation time.
We'll be down. I'll be there in the next 15 minutes. Meet me on the landing pad.
I didn't make the blood happen.
Bring null rods if you got them, just in case. Like a lot of null rods.
Understood. And you make your way down the stairs. The darkness is gone. It's actually pretty bright. Your glow globe is glowing normally. Your photovisors are working normally. The room temperature has returned to normal. You make your way down the stairs, down the hall, down to the grand staircase into the main entrance, out into the courtyard. The stars are out. The trees are back to how they were previously. You make your way to the landing pad at around when Selena and the Ecclesiarchy ship lands. Vladimir, just make sure the rest of the people can get on. It just looks at you, it's like, well, thank you. And just gets on board. Selena comes down. There's a number of blanks with her. They give you the very uncomfortable feeling, as well as a few null rods. So this one. What are we doing with this guy?
Well, he beguiled everybody here and cost the life of at least one of the Ecclesiarchy to try to get a writ of trade that was non-transferable.
Fun times, yes. All right. Well, he's still he's semi-conscious at this point. She lifts up his head, looks him over. No telltale signs of being tested on Terra. Looks to be just a psyker who didn't get snapped up by the black ships.
Through the cracks.
That's a problem.
Yeah, his fate's gonna be unpleasant, isn't it?
Nah, we'll see what happens. I don't know if I necessarily want to bring him to sing at the choir of the Golden Throne. We might execute him. We might keep him locked up for some purpose or another.
Maybe Hellscythe can figure out something to do with him.
We'll figure. Oh, don't worry. We'll take good care of him.
Buddy.
She just has this nice big smile on her face.
She likes when we bring her prisoners.
We brought her this guy. We just pat him on the shoulder as he's walked over to her and just give him our condolences.
Oh, no, once he's conscious again, he's just gibbering to himself. It wasn't transferable. It was all for nothing. It was nothing to be done at all. I killed them all for nothing. My entire life was me. It's just going on and on. Selena just punches him in the face and he's just out again. Yeah, I didn't feel like listening to him anymore.
That's fair.
Going.
All right, well, go aboard. We're having this place land striked, so
Oh, cool. That is about the best possible outcome I could hope for.
yeah. Come on, let's watch the fireworks. And she just guides you onto the ship. Ship takes off. He's heading Von Ogle is flying away. And you see lands number of land strikes just just hit the area. The whole area is just glass at this point. And the ship just takes off.
I'll finally enjoy that low stick smoke that I was denied as we watched the thing burn down.
Have a nice smoke as the place gets annihilated.
A few weeks go by, and you're getting after your debriefing, Selena just informs you. Ludger looks like he, after leaving the planet several decades ago, changed his identity, pretended to be a member of the Ecclesiarchy, and spent that time attempting to get back to the planet to get the warrant of trade. As for him, well, he's stuck in a cell that is gonna block his psyker powers. But no, he's spending the rest of his life in an asylum at this point. No one's been able to get through him. Any inquisitorial interrogation has yielded no results. He's not really on this plane of mental existence anymore. And really, just the worst. My attempts at getting him to talk have failed. Just really, like, not even acknowledging me. Real spoil sport, if you ask me.
Lame. Lock him up.
Oh, no. He's locked up. He's in a padded cell in a straitjacket, and he's going to stay that way until his teeth fall out. We put him in a soundproof room so we don't have to listen to him anymore.
Also fair.
So let's see here. All right, so you've been playing. It's not quite 2 hours, but 200 XP, 1 influence.
That was fun.
Yay! I love the spooky ones, and we will call it there and pick it up
Hooray.
next session.